Hello again, everybody. This is Steve Kallas. Speaking of sports, we're at westchestercountypost.com. I encourage you to go to that website, click on sports videos, sports articles. There's a lot of other good stuff there as well. But we're here today to talk about Notre Dame's 21-20 victory over Virginia Tech. Now, there's two ways to look at this victory. You can be like Coach Kelly after the game in the post-game press conference. This was a great win for Notre Dame. The team was resilient. They came back from being behind. They won in the final minute. They had an incredible last drive. And most of that is true. The other side of that coin, however, is they were playing at home. They were a heavy favorite against Virginia Tech, and they, frankly, almost lost the game. So we'll kind of look at it both ways. But in the end, it was true that Ian Book, in his first 2-minute game-winning drive, actually took them on an 18-play, 87-yard drive, 2 minutes and 53 seconds to do that. And with 29 seconds left, they did score the what proved to be the winning touchdown. We'll get to that in a minute. But originally, Notre Dame, early on, they were up 14-7. They were driving down the field towards the second half, end of the second quarter. And here's what happens. Jafar Armstrong, first and goal from the 8. He rushes for 6 yards. Second and goal from the 2, no gain. Third and goal from the 2, they rush again, and he fumbles. The ball pops up into the air, and Divine Diablo, that's his name, Divine Diablo, catches the ball in midair and runs 98 yards for a touchdown for Virginia Tech. So rather than going in at halftime, as you would expect, 21-7 Notre Dame, they went in 14-14. Now, they have a quarterback who they say is Cam Newton-like, and physically he is, Patterson. He's 6'4", 245. He's a load to bring down, but he's more of a rusher than a passer. And they had to contest that. Notre Dame's defense did a good job. Virginia Tech averaging 175 yards per game rushing, and this guy is mainly a rusher. He completed some passes, but mainly a rusher. And they held Virginia Tech to 101 yards. That's pretty incredible given what they had been doing prior to this game. So he was hard to stop, but they did stop him. But in any event, it's 14-14 at the half. And Virginia Tech has 2 drives, one at the third quarter, one at the end of the third into the fourth, where they wound up kicking field goals. You do give Notre Dame's defense for holding them 2 field goals, but it's 20-14 in the fourth quarter. And Notre Dame is having some trouble moving the ball, but in the final 2 drives, they actually moved the ball about 90 yards in the next to last drive, unfortunately because of a penalty, which was kind of a questionable penalty on a cut block by Notre Dame. Moved them back. They had to try a field goal, which they missed. And then so they get the ball back with a little more than 3 minutes to go, down 6. Obviously, a field goal won't help them at this point. And then Ian Book did really have a fantastic drive. He engineered the drive, 18 plays, 87 yards, the touchdown that would make the score 20-20. We'll get to that in a second. But Chase Claypool had an incredible catch. Notre Dame had a couple of third down conversions and a fourth down conversion. It really was an impressive drive. Some people will say, well, it took them the whole game to do that. And that's a little unfair. But in any event, they drive down the field. And it's Ian Book from the 10-yard line who runs it in to tie up the score, 20-20 with 29 seconds left. Why am I saying 20-20 and not 21-20? Because here's what happens. Normally the extra point, especially in college because it's still a very short kick, people are yawning, it's automatic, this and that. But this is the extra point to win the game. If they don't get that extra point, the game would probably have gone into overtime. And here's what happens. The center snap is very low, literally on the ground. And I might say to you the MVP of the game was the punter, and you go, what are you talking about? But Jay Bramblett, the punter for Notre Dame, is also the holder on the extra points, as often happens. And he got the ball off the ground, and this is a hard thing to do. Nobody ever looks at what the holder does, but it's a hard thing to do on a bad snap. The snap is on the ground, but he's able to pick it up just in time for Dorr to kick the extra point through, and that's the 21st point to win the game, 21-0 Notre Dame. So what do we take out of this game? Again, an exciting game, a great drive to win it. You kind of thought they were going to win it easier than that, but Jafar Armstrong, their dual threat running back, as we've said all year, he hasn't really played much all year. He's the best combination of rusher and receiver that Notre Dame has. Tony Jones didn't play, so Armstrong really had to carry the load. Now, his value is really out of the backfield, 4 catches for 49 yards, including a couple of big ones. He only rushed for 37 yards, which is kind of disappointing, frankly. But again, basically his first game of the year, first full game of the year. He's played in others. Ian Book threw for 336 yards. He also threw 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. He only had 2 interceptions the whole season until this date. He also threw a 3rd interception, which was called back because of a roughing the passer penalty that Virginia Tech complained bitterly about. That could have gone either way. So Book threw for 336 yards. He was also their leading rusher. Armstrong was good out of the backfield. Chase Claypool is Chase Claypool. I think he's going to be playing on Sundays next year. 8 catches for 118 yards. So all in all, yes, a good win because they won. No moral victories had they lost, but 21-20 Notre Dame playing at home. So again, you would have thought they would win it a little easier. But according to Coach Kelly, this was a character-building win, and this will help Ian Book because he ran the 2-minute drill to perfection, 2 minutes and 53 seconds in this case. But they did go down the field, the length of the field, to score the game-winning touchdown with 29 seconds left. Notre Dame 21, Virginia Tech 20. This is Steve Kallas, speaking of sports. We'll see you the next time.